Hey, what's going on, everybody? Boilon here, back for another video on Marvel Strike Force. Are you like me? Maybe you're not. I have been overloaded with silver diamond credits lately between Sword of Satellite, those two runs that we had, and the two Pocket Dimension runs, which I have just cleared on my main account. My alt account has finished the first run of Pocket Dimension, and I want to talk about in today's video what we should be doing with this. But I'm not going to be doing this in terms of a tier list. What I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be talking about my strategies, the strategies that I employ when it comes to upgrading or not upgrading certain characters with silver diamond credits. I think to be honest, I think I've been actually fairly lucky with recent releases, and that's why I have so many built up. That being said, I do have some on my alt account, and I've been like starting to wonder where I should put those in. In the second half of the video, we're also going to be talking about dark promotion credits and dark diamonds to a lesser extent, because I think there's been some changes as well with the Apox saga stuff and what characters you should be focusing on at this point in time. So if you're ready to go, everybody, let's boil this down. Now, let's just get things out of the way. For those who are kind of new to diamonds or don't know, basically, the cost for 1, 2, and 3 is 50. Hopefully, I have them here actually. 110 and 280. So it gets pretty oppressive to buy a 3 diamond, which is kind of only what I would say recommended for the top of the like the top 5, maybe top 10 characters of the game. Other than that, I actually do believe in spreading it out a bit more and getting, like say 2 diamond, because like three for 280, you could get almost two more characters at 2 diamond. Because that's 50, that's 160, right? So 320 versus a 280 upgrade. So I'd rather see two characters with 2 diamond, 1 and 2, than one character with a third upgrade. That's just my opinions. I the only person I flat out bought a 3 for, I think, was Nightcrawler and Kang. That's it. I'm pretty sure that's it. And I'm not sure there's any at this point in time that I would purchase at a 3. But there are many that I would purchase a 2. And some that I'm waiting for right now. So Cabal recently became farmable with Iron Patriot and Leader. Leader's going to take a little bit longer. I don't know if he was in my store today. No, he wasn't. And so I'm kind of waiting to find him in the Cosmic Crucible store to eventually get him to 7, where I can, I have the 7 red, so I can promote him to diamonds, right? And so this leads me to talk about my strategy in what I'm waiting. I'm probably going to be using a lot of this pretty soon. That's because I'm waiting for the next farmable team. And so, not that one. We're going to talk about that one after. I want to talk to you about my character spreadsheet. Some of you may have seen this before, where I talk about release dates. I have a whole list of all the characters, but this kind of guides me in terms of when characters are going to become farmable and who I'm going to be looking at in terms of diamond upgrades. So, anytime a new team becomes farmable, there was Cabal, of course, but before that, it was Out of Time and then Hive Mind. I was like, are there any characters on this list that I want to put diamonds into? And so, just to backtrack a little bit, when Hive Mind came out, I think I already had some diamonds on Gwenom up here, actually, Void Knight Gwenom and Red Goblin. But I did put a 1 diamond down on Red Goblin, and I luckily I had the pulls on the other characters, so okay, I didn't need to spend that much then. And then when Out of Time became farmable, well, Black Knight was on Dark Diamond, so that was a completely separate question. Not a personal big fan of Starbrand, so I did not put diamonds down on him. Cosmic Ghost Rider, I did actually put a 2 diamond down on Cosmic Ghost Rider, but I also decided to take him into Dark Dimension 7. So every time a new character becomes farmable, I'm asking this question to myself: what kind of value do those characters have, and am I using them? Because obviously, if I'm not using them, then I don't need to put diamonds in them. Now, I think that the best bang for your buck are going to be the recently farmable characters, because those are the characters that are going to last the longest in the game's longevity. Unless they get a weird rework that are somehow super crazy good. We'll talk about that in a little bit in the Dark Diamond section. But with Iron Patriot and the Leader, those are characters that I want diamonds in. Now, Iron Patriot had Sword Satellite, right? So maybe you got 1, maybe you got 2 out of Sword Satellite when the payout comes out. So don't do that right until after that. But then the Leader, yeah, absolutely. I'm going to get him to 2 diamond as soon as, I get him to 7 red. Might take a little bit of time, though, because of the Cosmic Crucible store. And, we hate the Cosmic Crucible farm. But we're going forward, and I think we're probably not long off. I don't know. It's been, I would say, 3 weeks maximum for Spider Society. And those are absolutely 500% characters that I would invest diamonds into. Peter, Pav, and Penny, all of them. So I plan, actually, low key, I've been like kind of thinking about a 3 diamond on either Pav or Penny, but that's just because I have a lot. So if you don't have as many as I do, I would still recommend a 2 on both. I think Spider Society are so oppressive. Maybe not oppressive, but they're really good in almost every game mode. They crush it in Dark Dimension City in every single version of it so far, and they're just such a powerful team, right? As a raid team, they are really strong in other game modes. So definitely characters that I would consider taking up to 2 diamond. Now, I basically, from that point on, we can work our way backwards, right? Like which characters are worth it to me. I think that each character, there's like 1 or 2 characters on each team that are standouts, right? Nightcrawler, obvious standout from the Extreme X-Men. Gambit is pretty good too. I would say he's probably second, but however, Forge is still really good as well because you need to keep him alive for him to kind of do the stuff. And if Forge is alive, that's a good sign that the rest of your team is still going to be alive as well. And so, that's how I kind of apply my diamonds. Is I look at the first up characters, the newer fireable characters. I work my way backwards a little bit, but not too far because I want to make sure that I'm holding on to it, right? So I don't want to go and blow all my diamonds and then not have it for when I need it, which is going to be for the characters upcoming. So no, this is not a tier list of me telling you exactly who to upgrade. It's kind of me telling you that you should do a little bit of thinking of your own. What characters do you have upgraded? Which, in identifying the MVPs of the team and then upgrading those characters to diamonds. That's what I'm trying to tell you to do. Unless you're overflowing it more than I am. But I just want to keep in mind that the cost of a 2 diamond is fairly high. So all things considered, so 160 if you don't have any of that. So for my Spider Society, about a good 500 of these are going to go. 480 of these are going to go to Spider Society, right? So while I'm hoarding right now, it's just I want to make sure I have enough for the upgrades that are coming around the bend. And if I do a 3 on 1 or 2 of them, there's 2/3 of my silver diamonds gone. So it does go pretty quickly. And I just want to like let people know that they should keep these things in mind, especially when it comes to farmability, right? So because luckily I keep this though. So usually around 120 days, the characters become farmable when the first character hits 120 days. So that's why I think that Peter will be like 2.5, 3 weeks maximum. And then whether or not you want to do mercs for money, I'm probably not going to on diamonds, and so I'm going to skip that. So I'm going to blow a lot of my diamonds onto Spider Society, and that'll give me the time, in between mercs for money. Alpha Flight, probably not either, right? I haven't even added the numbers in there yet. And that'll give me the time to recoup my diamond loss. Now, that does not accommodate reworked characters in future patches. That's something that I would keep a little bit of a nest egg for. However, we have seen that reworked characters do get diamonds in other events, right? Recently, we got Mr. Fantastic as part of the Illuminati. That was a free diamonds there. We're also getting like free diamonds for Wolverine and Deadpool coming up in like some upcoming events. So it's a tough run, right? Like I would not go around blowing your diamonds on rework characters right away because you never know where if you wait and you're a bit patient, you might actually see it in events. So yes, not a tier list. My apologies if that's what people wanted. I don't feel that it's very effective. I think it's just important to understand, what you're kind of looking at when it comes to diamond upgrades and how you should identify characters on a team that are probably worth it to you. Because it's not a one size fits all. The roster is going to look probably a bit different from player to player and how long you've been playing around. And so whether or not that character is worth it for you, and just to show you my alt account as well, I'm at about 399 silver diamonds. I just cleared my first pocket dimension run. So these are things that I'm considering, but I'm mostly following the same advice. Spider Society, I want to make sure that when it's farmable for my alt account that I can buy diamonds for those characters too. Some of the top upgrades right now, I think that's going to be coming around the bend. Anyways, in the second half of this video, I do want to talk about dark promos and dark diamonds. All right, and this is my dark promotion credit and diamond chart. Now, this outlines all of the characters that are available in the game for upgrades in this manner. But this is another one of those things where it really depends on whether you're a new or mid-game player or you're an in-game player. And I'm going to try to do my best to accommodate both in this because I think the considerations are quite different, right? There's a lot of upgrades that I would not do now because it's just too late, right? And it depends on whether or not you're buying the RTA pass. Now, we know in about 2 weeks' time, Ares is going to be part of the RTA pass for about 3 months, as far as I'm aware. And so that might give you a good opportunity for light spenders if you want to do that to, buy Ares shards, but you're also probably going to get dark promotion credits. I don't know if they're going to nerf it or buff it. They did nerf it in the past. It was like 4,500. per pass, and now it's 3,500. So I don't know if they're going to change that. But your monthly free to play dark promo credits. And while I'm here, I'm going to make sure that people are aware of what they should be doing, right? Make sure that you're only opening these red star orbs during the 10x, which I actually need to do right now. This is my main account actually. So I need to do this a little bit more. Make sure you're opening these during the 10x period so that you can get your dark promo credits, because that's the best time to do that. There is other ways to like bypass the 10x through the 10 times orb opener thing, but I actually still do the regular orb because I feel that my RNG is a little bit better rather than banking on a jackpot for the 10x orb. But anyways, dark promotion credits. So I have about 4,000. Oh, this is my alt account. I have 4,000 on my alt account and a lot of dark diamonds, because the problem with dark diamonds is that if you don't get a character to 7 red, you can't use the diamonds, right? They have to be at 7 red. This is a little bit easier if you've been playing for a long time because you had that time to upgrade characters and think about it. But for newer accounts and for mid-game accounts, honestly, what we're going to do is we're going to go through this and I'm going to talk. We're actually going to go from the bottom up and characters that I believe are no longer worth upgrading. Now, when I say upgrading, they're no longer worth it to 7, right, at this point in time, because there's just too many considerations that you have to kind of abandon them. And so we're going to start with, well, Captain Britain's not available, but I put him down there anyways, placeholder. Same with Old Man Logan. Can't buy his red stars yet, as far as I'm aware. So Green Goblin, he was somewhat more recently, and sadly, I'm probably gonna have to say no. I think it's too late, even though he's not been available for that. I was actually, you know what? I'll say maybe. So if you're a pass buyer, you could probably get away with Green Goblin Classic. I think he's still a very solid character if you're trying to be competitive in a Crucible and in other game modes. Probably worth at least to a 2 diamond and a 7 red at that point in time. I did not purchase the 3 diamonds. I feel the 3 diamonds are very oppressive as far as the cost, so I would not do that. So when I say yes, no, maybe, this is going to be more related to the 7 red and less to do with diamonds. Black Hat, no. I think it's just too far gone. She's not really arena meta that much anymore. And people still use her right now, but she's not, you don't really need those red stars or diamonds, in my opinion. Nova, absolutely not. I hate Nova. So that's going to be a bit of a biased opinion. Ares, he's not out yet, but he probably will be. I'll probably say yes when he is out. Zombie Juggernaut, no. The prices are very high as well. If you look comparatively, it's like the same as Black Knight, which I really don't like. Black Knight to 7, I think he is. I still think he is. But he's kind of after some of the other, because I do want to talk about a few other ones here. Spider-Man Big Time, no. I love Spider-Man Big Time, but I don't think I've taken him to 7 red on my main account. It's too late though for everyone else. Quicksilver, no. Too late for everyone else. I even from like veteran accounts, I'm not sure if it's really worth it. Definitely not in the diamonds. Although they do cost a lot less than Black Knight and Zombie Juggernaut. So that's something to keep an eye on. Zombie Iron Man, no. You don't really need his red stars or diamonds to function properly. You do for Zombie Juggernaut. But of course, he's not farmable. So this is really not a conversation worth having, in my opinion. All of the characters from the Horsemen, they are pretty much a no. Right? And so this is really easy because we're kind of breaking down a few characters who are only really worth it at this point in time. This is where we get kind of good. And I'm going to start at the top here with Ultimus. Now, we have not officially revealed the reworks. We do know that he is getting a reworked as part of the Annihilator's kit. Now, I do believe that Ultimus will be worth upgrading because of a couple reasons. A, he's super cheap. You zoom in one more. Super cheap. 2250 to get the 6 and the 7, and the diamonds are less than 1,000 for all 3 of them. So cheap. And I think that with the rework stats, from what we're seeing from Ares, that he is going to be very good. Now, is he going to remain on his team forever because he's a rework and reworks tend to get kicked out? I'm not sure. There hasn't really been testing to that degree at this point yet. And the thing is that I think that Ultimus will have plug and play value because of the way he basically kicks in spawn taunters, right? Or any taunters, frankly. He gets turn bar on spawn from taunters, and he hits for as many positive effects they have. So I could see this with the crazy stat reworks that are upcoming with like the Ares and this patch this patch forward, right, I meant to say, that I could see this being incredibly powerful. And so I'm willing to do that for less than 1,000 dark diamonds. It's honestly nothing. For my alt account, It's absolutely nothing. So I've been slowly working on buying Ultimus. I'm going to get him to 3 diamond because it's something that I can do fast and take advantage of now. Now, as far as Ultron goes, no. Doctor Doom, no. Dormammu, no. And this leaves us with Apocalypse and Super Skrull. This is where I'm a little bit on the fence. Like, obviously, for veteran accounts, we've already done this at this point, right? Like, so we've had that time to do it. So I would say yes. For free-to-play accounts, you're looking at probably about 2,500, 3,000 a month, maybe, I think, Dark Promotions. And so to get the 5, 6, and 7 for Apocalypse will take you some time, especially if you're free to play. And I'm wondering whether or not, at that point we'll be upgrading characters like Ares or someone else, Old Man Logan, right? Maybe that costs a shit ton too. So I would focus on getting Ultimus first, and then I would do Apocalypse second. Super Skrull is super oppressive, that while I do like his upgrades and I would like to do it, he's not available in diamonds yet. I think that's going to be even crazier. Because if we're looking, he's double the cost of Apocalypse. So that's where I would say yes to Apocalypse and only a maybe to Super Skrull. And that really just depends on if you're a buyer. If you're a pass buyer, then you can go for it on Super Skrull. If you're not, I would skip it. So my priorities personally would be Ultimus, Apocalypse, and Black Knight at this point in time. Black Knight may, or I don't know how long he's going to be. He kind of gets kicked in by Old Man Logan right now, but he's still a very strong character in the game, and his upgrades are not nearly as expensive as even Apocalypse. So I think that he's still worth it as far as a regular DPC character goes. So those are my top picks, in my opinion, would be Ultimus, Apocalypse, Black Knight, and then if you're a pass buyer, Green Goblin Classic and Super Skrull. That would give you those excess credits for you to buy those characters. At this point in time, I don't think anyone else is worth it, but hopefully I've explained my thought process okay, and that, if you obviously don't agree, then feel free to leave that in the comments down below. But I think that we need to be forward thinking and not backwards thinking. I think there's a lot of characters that really, at the end of the day, this is a finite resource that you're not going to have enough. And I want to be very clear. It's all or nothing when it comes to these upgrades. If you're going in on somebody, even if you don't agree with me, go in all the way to 7. Because if you don't go to 7 red, you cannot do the diamonds. Therefore, you're going to stack up on dark diamonds like you're seeing on my alt account, because I don't have anyone at 7 yet, which is why I'm doing Ultimus now, so I can use some of these dark diamonds and get rid of them out of my account, right? So 8,500 there. My main has a little bit less. Actually, no, my main still has a fair bit as well. 7,000 on my main account. That's because I do have Apocalypse already at 3 diamond, and I do have 2 diamond on Black Knight, and I guess I'm just kind of waiting to see what happens. I don't have a 7 red on my main account because it's just very expensive, and I don't buy those RTA passes. So, bit of an issue, I guess. But it's always good to have diamonds around, whether it's silver or dark diamonds, than not have them at all. So don't be in a rush to blow them, because they're quite tough to get back unless you're spending a lot. So that's the end of this video, everyone. Let me know in the comments down below. And of course, until next time, stay safe and healthy. And I'll see y'all later. Boilon, signing out.